Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my channel. This is Tanush. I got a comment that why I'm not making video for my favorite Ascendant Gemini. So here I am. This video is specifically for Gemini Ascendant. How the year 2025 is going to be, right? So again, I'll speak from perspective of major planets which are going to transit in 2025. So Saturn is going to transit sign on 29th March. Saturn would transit from your 9th house, Gemini Ascendants, to your 10th house. A very good transit. So why and all that we'll discuss in a bit, right? Jupiter would move from your 12th house to your first house. A wonderful transit, and this is going to happen till 14th of May 2025, right? And on 18th May, I believe Rahu and Ketu are going to change their signs. So Rahu will be transiting to your 9th house, a good one. Ketu would be transiting to your 3rd house. So we'll discuss about that. So first, 2025 is surely going to be a happening year because 4 major planets are transiting. That too, within a span of couple of months. So you can expect, major changes in your life. With respect to different aspects of your life, right? So now till March, end of February or March, things are going to be pretty much the same. So not considering the transit of frequently changing planets, if we speak about these 4 major planets, things are going to be pretty much the same. So Jupiter would go into direct motion, and things would be almost the same. But as you touch March, you can feel the changes happening from Saturn's perspective. So Saturn will change sign from your 9th house, from your Bhagya to your 10th house. And this is going to be a really very good change for you, right? Now in 9th house, Saturn was not bad, as I always say, but it surely made you work very, very hard, extremely hard, because from 9th house, it aspects your 3rd house of efforts, right? Efforts, hard work, dedication, commitment, courage. All this is represented by 3rd house. And especially when Saturn either transits to your 3rd house or aspects your 3rd house, so in this case, it is aspecting 3rd house is exactly opposite to it. It is still aspecting your 3rd house with its 7th aspect. So it will make you work extremely hard, because Saturn is an hard working, Saturn promotes hard work and then it gives results. So you might have worked very hard, extremely hard in few cases, especially if you are going through Saturn Mahadasha. A lot of hard work you might have put starting from, I believe, 2023 January. A lot of hard work. So you might have seen result, or you might still be waiting for that. That all depends upon which major dasha or planetary time you are going through. So all depends upon that. But surely, it made you work hard. But I would say Saturn has laid foundation for you, right? Because 9th house is your Bhagyastan. It is the house of your fortune. And when Saturn comes to this house, I always say that after 30 years, it has come to your 9th house. So it has come to stabilize you, to give you that stability in life. You will not understand that, you'll understand during this transit of Saturn that what Saturn has actually given you. It might have removed a lot of obstacles from your life. Pending karma might have been resolved. So very difficult for us to comprehend why things happen, why you had to put in a lot of effort, why you had to work on things which may seem unnecessary, which may seem completely out of context, right? So it might look that way, but from Saturn's perspective, you are kind of done with your past karma, and these things were necessary to be worked upon because they were kind of blocking your progress. So understand whatever happened was for your good. Now when Saturn transits to your 10th house, so Saturn in the natural Kal Chakra Kundali holds the lordship of 10th and 11th house, right? So one way Saturn becomes quite comfortable in 10th house because it is Saturn's territory, right? So it's like I'm back to my home, right? Now, 10th house in the natural Kalchakra Kundali is Capricorn. Now, Saturn in Capricorn behaves differently, and Saturn in Aquarius behaves, completely different. Completely different. Now, here Saturn acts as an hard taskmaster, right? So, Saturn will give you a lot of opportunities. It will give you growth. It will give you the promotion which you're looking for, the job change which you're looking for. It will give you higher responsibilities. So that is kind of sure to happen. Sure to happen. It will give you higher responsibility, but with it comes a lot of hard work, lot of dedication, perseverance, being organized, being disciplined. So all those skill set now you'll have to exhibit, and that is what Saturn will force you to do. Right now, with all this things, with hard work, perseverance, being disciplined, being organized, planning your day, planning your time, having a good outview of what you have to do, how you have to grow. So once you have that in place, you will see your growth will be phenomenal during this period. Saturn is coming here actually to give you wonderful growth. Right now, when Saturn, even now Saturn is in your ninth house, it is still aspecting your 11th house. So 11th house, when Saturn aspects, it is restricting your growth, right? It is restricting your income from your business, income from your job, right? So your promotions might have been delayed, or might have been pushed, deferred to the future. So you might get feedback that this it will not happen during this cycle. You'll probably have to wait till the next cycle. So if that is happening, be assured that the next transit of Saturn will actually give you whatever you are qualified or eligible for. So that's surely going to happen. So from Saturn's perspective, it's going to be a wonderful one for you. So Saturn aspects your 12th house. Travel is indicated. So if at all you have to travel on your job, Saturn will give you that kind of opportunity. It aspects your 10th house. So 4th house. So you can expect that you might not be able to connect with your family as much as you are connecting now, because Saturn will make sure that you work so hard that you get minimal family time, or you'll not be able to spend much time. Most of the time will be dedicated towards your work, your business. Now, if you were planning to start some new line of business, you have some ideas, all those will actually materialize during this transit of Saturn. So a good one, I would say, a wonderful one. Utilize it, but it comes with a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, perseverance you will have to put in, and then you will see phenomenal growth in your workplace, in your career, right? So from Saturn's perspective, it is good, but with a lot of hard work. Now coming to Jupiter. Jupiter would be transiting from your 12th house to your Lagna. A wonderful, wonderful transit, because Jupiter in the first house is considered to be a very good placement. And in 12th house, Jupiter was not so effective in giving the results, because for you, Jupiter is the lord of your 7th and 10th house, one of two most important houses, two very important Kendra houses. Now, once it transits to your first house, so first house is Lagna, it is yourself, it is your personality. So what it will do is it will actually boost your personality. So you'll now get opportunity to actually work hard, on your personality. So this is not about your career or anything. So you'll work hard on your personality, you'll develop your personality, your personality will become very magnetic, very charismatic, and people will get naturally attracted to you. You'll see boost in your confidence, you'll get new energy levels, to work hard. So Saturn will give you the opportunity, and Jupiter will ensure that you will work hard, right? So you'll see a lot of changes happening in your personality, a lot of changes in the way you perceive the world, perceive things will change completely. It will be more optimistic, right? And because third house, I mean, first house for Gemini is Gemini sign, which represents communication. You will see your communication being, more matured. It will be more impressive, right? So you will be able to put across your points and make people agree on them, right? So all those things Jupiter will do. Jupiter aspects your fifth house, seventh house, and your ninth house, right? So all the three best houses Jupiter is aspecting. Two Trikon houses and one Kendra house, right? So all the Kendra and Trikon houses, meaning houses, the Trikon houses are 1, 5 and 9, considered to be very good houses, and 1, 4, 7 and 10 are the Kendra houses. So all Trikona houses will now be under the influence of Jupiter, which is going to be very, very good. And it is sitting in the first house, which is a Kendra house as well, and it is aspecting the seventh house, which is also a Kendra house, right? Now, people who are eligible to get married, marriage didn't happen for whatever reason, or people who are looking out for their life partner or soulmate, this would be a wonderful time. So starting from 14th May 2025 to May 2026, is a wonderful time. If you're eligible to get married, if your dasha also supports, obviously, you'll get married, or you will get your soulmate or your partner. A very good person you will get, right? If you had plans for higher learnings, if you're a student, you had plans for pursuing your masters, your PhD, or some new diploma, get into management, pursue your MBA, right? And also certifications on some technical things. So all those things will happen because Jupiter will now aspect your fifth house of learning and your ninth house of higher learning. So ninth house represents master's degree, PhD, and all those things. So Jupiter is going to support you in your education or getting certifications, pursuing your higher studies, and also students who are doing their undergraduations, and even students who are in schools, they'll also do much better. So they'll get the support of Jupiter during this period. People who are in share market, this would be a very good period, right? So you'll have to look at your fifth lord and 11th house, meaning Venus and Mars, obviously. But still, from Jupiter's perspective, because it's aspecting the fifth house, you'll see good gains during this period, right? Now, because it aspects your seventh house, one is, as I said, people will get married. And if you had any issues in marriage was on the brink of dissolving or separation seemed imminent, once Jupiter comes here, it would help you to resolve issues, if at all that is good for you. So it will be a decisive transit, to decide whether to go ahead or whether to separate. So Jupiter will help. And if you have opportunity to actually settle, the issues and again get along, then do it, because Jupiter will support that surely, right? Jupiter also aspects your ninth house. So people, students especially, who were planning to travel outside their country to foreign lands for studies, higher studies especially, phenomenal period. You can expect visa. If your visa was rejected, during this period, obviously you'll get your visa, and all those things will be much simpler. The processing and your travel will be much simpler. Your settling in foreign lands will be much simpler. It will be very seamless during this period. So Jupiter is going to support you, right? Also a very good period for spirituality, and people who have aspiration or who have some inclination towards spirituality, you should actually utilize this, because Jupiter, once it comes to the first house, that is yourself, and Jupiter is all about higher learning, wisdom, right? It's about knowing yourself, connecting with the divine. All those things are represented by Jupiter, and Jupiter has come to your Lagna. It will support you. That not only that, it aspects your fifth house and ninth house. So ninth house is house of spirituality, it's house of dharma, right? So you should take to spiritual path and you will get right guidance. Now there is a caveat to it because Rahu would be transiting to your ninth house, so we'll talk about that in a bit, right? So from Jupiter's perspective, wonderful transit, and the next transit of Jupiter to your second house would be phenomenal because Jupiter will get exalted in the second house. It is the Karaka of second house, and from there it aspects your 10th house. It is the lord of the 10th house. Saturn would be sitting there, and it will be giving you wonderful opportunities with wonderful monetary gains. So Gemini ascendants, I know you have been struggling from long time. So this year and next year, so next year would be much better than this year, right? So from at least from Jupiter's perspective and Saturn's perspective, it's going to be wonderful year. 2026 is going to be a wonderful year. So you can actually plan for that 2 years. A long time period for you to settle down in your life, right? Now, from perspective of Rahu and Ketu, Rahu would be transiting to your ninth house, and Ketu would be transiting to your third house, right? So, ninth house Rahu is good. So, especially if you are planning to travel to foreign lands, because Rahu represents travel to foreign land and all those things. Rahu would be helping you to travel. Higher studies, higher learning, Rahu will help you to do that because Rahu is a very ambitious planet. It will help you actually to pursue your higher studies, your masters, your PhD, and all those things. So, from that perspective, Rahu is very good there. Now, the problem comes when if you are taking to the part of spirituality, right? So, you have to be little careful whom you take guidance from, and this also applies to students as well, because Rahu's nature is that it takes shortcuts, and you might encounter teachers or even spiritual masters or spiritual gurus who might actually kind of misdirect you. So one way Jupiter is aspecting the ninth house, it will keep Rahu in control. That's going to happen. But Rahu will also be aspecting Jupiter with its fifth aspect, right? So Jupiter, Rahu, this looking at each other would be there, right? But obviously Jupiter, it is Jupiter's house. Ninth house is the house of Jupiter. So Jupiter is going to win the tussle, and it will be a wonderful year for you. Now the problem comes with Ketu. When Ketu comes to the third house is the house of the efforts you put in. It is the house of new initiatives which we take, right? So it's also the house of communication. It's the house of your siblings, your friends, short distance travel, and all those things. When Ketu comes, especially because third house is the sign of Leo, it's not very comfortable. It actually Sun represents our ego, right? So when Ketu comes there, it actually pulls down your ego, right? And you might lose your confidence. So Jupiter is there in your Lagna, giving you confidence, boosting your confidence, but Ketu here is capable of actually taking away that confidence from you. So that is one thing. Second is your efforts might be misdirected towards unnecessary things or towards wrong things. So you have to take care of that. So other than Ketu, all other planets are supportive, right? And third thing is you'll have to be very, very careful with your communication, because when Ketu sits in the house of communication, what happens is you might not be able to communicate what actually you intend to communicate. So you might be misunderstood, or you might be not very effective in communicating with others. So communication surely will be a challenge, and especially people who are very active in social media, so don't be too active. I mean, you can be active, but be careful, because people might misunderstand your comments or misunderstand your posts or whatever. So be careful. It's not bad. It's not that it's going to be bad, but when you want to communicate, double check, triple check that whether it is conveying the message which you are intending to convey, right? So do that. So that is one thing you need to take care, right? And make sure that your efforts are going in the right direction. So this requires planning, and Saturn also is, expecting that. So whenever you have to do anything, just sit, introspect, just check whether your efforts are going in the right direction. So if you do that, Ketu will not actually bring in a lot of blocks and everything in your way, right? So do that while communicating. Make sure you think twice in your mind what you're about to speak, especially during important meetings and during interviews and all those things. Think twice or thrice and then you speak. So your speech, your written communication, and if you're active on social media, you have to be a little careful. So that's all. So third house is an upachaya house. Generally Rahu, Ketu, Saturn, they do very well that there, but Rahu shows its nature, and because it is a sign of Leo, right? So it's not very comfortable there. So other than this, I think it's going to be a very good year for you. Year filled with opportunities. Year a very fruitful year. Jupiter is going to support you a lot. Saturn is going to bring in a lot of new opportunities, but it expects hard work, commitment, dedication, perseverance, which already you have been doing from long time, I believe, right? So guys, these were my thoughts on how the year 2025 is going to be for Gemini Ascendants. So if you like my video, you can subscribe to my channel. I'll be back with videos for other ascendants soon. Thank you so much for watching.